advantages of single phase bridge converter over single phase midpoint converter. So here we will see what are the advantages of single phase bridge rectifier over the single phase center tap rectifier. Bridge converter means bridge type rectifiers, midpoint converter means center tap transformer full wave rectifiers. First, the SCRs are subjected to the peak inverse voltage of twice EM in the midpoint converters and EM in fully controlled bridge rectifiers. Means we can say that the SCRs which we are using in bridge rectifiers, the peak inverse voltage rating is in bridge rectifiers, the peak inverse voltage rating is EM. That is the maximum input voltage. But in midpoint converters, the peak inverse voltage rating is twice of EM. So what is the point? The point is, if we consider this as a center tap and if we consider here as a bridge type bridge rectifier, then in center tap PIV is equals to twice of EM, and in bridge type it is PIV is equals to EM. Here EM is the maximum voltage, negative or positive. So obviously higher rated SCRs are required in center tap or midpoint converters. So this midpoint converters and this bridge converters. Hence, for the same voltage and current ratings of the SCRs, power handled by the midpoint configuration is about half of that handled by the bridge configuration. Power handling capacity of center tap is more as compared to bridge. Power handling capacity of center tap is more as compared to bridge. In midpoint configuration, each secondary should be able to supply the load voltage. As such, the transformer rating in midpoint converter is double the load rating. This, however, is not the case of single phase bridge converter. Means the transformer ratings are double in midpoint converters. Transformer ratings in bridge are single. Hence, bridge configuration is generally preferred over the midpoint converters. However, the choice between these two types primarily depends on the cost, various components, and the available voltage source and the load voltage requirement. Midpoint converter is used in case the terminals on the DC sides have to be grounded. This is very important point. Midpoint converters are used where the terminals on the DC side needs grounding. So we can conclude that the selection of center tap or bridge totally depends on the what kind of cost of the components which are available. What is the cost of the SCR which can handle twice of the input voltage, or which can handle only the single values of the input voltage. Also, it depends on the uh, DC side which needs grounding. Midpoint converter is used where DC needs grounding. What I am saying, they are used where DC needs grounding. DC needs grounding. And here DC does not need grounding. Also cost, generally cost is more in center tap and cost is less. The circuit cost, because components, this it requires additional transformer, that to center tap transformer, it do not require center tap transformer, and hence generally we use bridge type full wave rectifier.